The Snyder Cut is real and is happening. Umbrella Academy Season 2 gets a release date. The Tenet drops a new trailer, and more information and news on You Heard with Nerds.
Welcome on into the podcast. I'm Brett.
I'm Dorian.
And we got some nerd news for y'all. Not a lot.
Not a lot this week, but depending on who you are, this might be the biggest news
of your life.
Yeah, in the history of everything here.
So the first one being the cries of many. Okay, I don't even know if it's many.
I don't know.
It's the few.
It was enough for them to like put up a billboard in New York. New York Square or Times Square. Yeah.
So what we're talking about is the Snyder Cut for
Justice
League is coming out and is happening. It's happening, guys. You did it. Congratulations.
Everybody can go home now.
Everyone can go home now.
So just to give a little bit of context to people who might not know. So basically when Justice League was being made a couple years back, Zack Snyder was the original director on that.
It was a complete cluster if you ever saw that movie.
It was. But that being said, Zack Snyder was the original director. He apparently filmed all of it. And the studio looked at that and they said, yeah, we need to change some things. So they essentially booted Zack Snyder off the project, brought in Joss Whedon, and he did reshoots. That's where we get the cringe-worthy mustache CGI on Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
But, that's basically all we've ever... so basically what Joss Whedon filmed and like spliced into the movie, that's what we got from the theatrical release of Justice League. Now, that being said, we are going to be getting the cut that Zack Snyder initially intended here. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, so basically the way that this information came out, I think was May 21st or May 20th. It was the anniversary of Man of Steel, if I'm not mistaken.
You might be right.
I don't know. So Zack Snyder was having a live watch party on I don't know if it was the HBO Max platform. I don't really know, but he was doing it live and basically fans were able to zoom in and ask questions.
Right, yeah, live chat or something like that.
And so Henry Cavill shows up and he's answering these questions with Zack about the film, and one of them asks the question.
Yeah.
Being so is this happening, and when, and if so, when will it happen? And then Zach kind of looks at Henry, but he goes like, "Hey Henry, when's this happening?" He's like, "Oh, it's happening." Like they're kind of like going back and forth, and you're like, "What?" Yeah. And then we get a little trailer basically for the Snyder Cut of basically it's coming out in 2021.
Yeah, kind of odd that they're waiting like about 6 months to release this, but maybe that's just because they got some post-production stuff they gotta finish on the Snyder Cut here.
Yeah, what I'm really hoping for, since they CGI'd that mustache off, that they'll CGI a mullet on Henry Cavill's head, because in the comics, and that story arc, he has a mullet.
Yeah. Now, is it confirmed that he will have the black suit coming back, or is that
I'm not really sure, to be honest. Like, I remember there being inklings and leaks of what was in the Snyder Cut, but I don't think anyone actually knows beyond Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
I want to say Black Suit Superman was a thing for his cut, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there being like some mention or some talks about Superman coming in a black suit. I don't know if that was something that was scrapped from Joss Whedon's side or Zack Snyder's side, but
great question. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see in 2021. So.
Yeah, I guess so here.
I am really surprised by this. It's cool. I think it's a cool thing. Like, take Sonic for instance.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was outraged over the CGI.
Yeah.
So they literally delayed that movie, like 6 or 7 months?
Roughly, yeah. Something
to
basically
make it good. And the movie was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I can't imagine how poorly that movie would have performed if they kept with their original direction. But no, it's no. I mean, this is definitely. I think we're kind of seeing the age of like fan-driven media, and that could be a double-edged sword potentially.
Big time.
So we'll see. We haven't like gotten like an example just quite yet where it's been a double-edged sword, or like it's turned out for the worst. Maybe this might be the first case of it. Maybe not. We'll see. But
yeah, I mean, so kind of what the message here is if you complain enough, you'll get what you want.
Yeah, squeaky oil gets the grease here.
Yes, yeah, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, I guess.
Sorry, man, I botched that, didn't I?
You did. But no, I mean, here's the deal: is like. I understand, like, if you, like, as a director, as a filmmaker, having feedback is a good thing. Like,
sure.
So I would say that this is something I adhere to. Individuals, in and of themselves, sometimes can be make wise decisions.
Yeah.
Huge groups of people are idiots. They're, like, when you have that huge group of people that just think a certain way and,
sure,
they're all about whatever, like, okay, so the Snyder Cut thing, let's take that for instance. Like, I never thought it would happen. Like, I was with how anything has ever happened in the history of film.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was a bad movie, I feel like out of respect for whoever made that movie, you're not going to be like,
yeah.
I feel for Joss Whedon at this point.
Kind of, yeah.
Because it's like all your actors too were against you. So, or at least Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And I think Jason Momoa has taken to social media and said, release the Snyder Cut.
I think Ben Affleck as well, yeah.
Here's something I think we both agree on is that it's probably not going to be any better.
No.
It'll be different.
No, and that's...
Some people might like it better.
So, all right,
Go on your rant.
Yeah, give me 5 minutes here. Yeah. Maybe 20,
That's fine. That's fine. We got time.
Okay. So, yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I am surprised that we actually got this here. I mean, it's... like I said, I think we were starting to creep into the age of fan-directed, directing or media or something like that. But I think this is going to be the hardest that people have ever petitioned for what is essentially going to be a mediocre product.
Right.
I mean, let's be real. There's a reason why that the studio brought on Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
It's probably because the Snyder Cut is probably a hot pile of garbage.
Probably.
And... it's. I think when people see this movie, they'll probably understand, like, oh, that's why they didn't want us to actually see us, because it's not good.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, let's go back even further. So we have, BVS comes out, complete dumpster fire here.
Yeah.
For the most part, maybe like one or two things about that movie are actually decent or salvageable, but. Then they released the director's cut, and that was supposed to be the thing. Oh, this is going to fix all the problems with the movie. This is going to make it 10 times better. And it fleshes out maybe one or two things.
It's just longer.
It's just longer and more drawn out, and it doesn't fix the movie. It's still a bad movie here.
Yeah.
So, no, I think this is going to be a similar situation. I think all the people who said, yeah, we want this now, we deserve this. It's like, did you guys forget who you are petitioning for? This is Zack Snyder. He's a terrible director. I mean, he does not write well. He does maybe a few cool action scenes, some cool things with cinematography, even though he CGIs the heck out of like every project that he's on here. But no, it's Zack Snyder. Like, this is not like Christopher Nolan's like Lost movie or Martin Scorsese's like undiscovered masterpiece. This is just literally a guy who essentially ran the DCEU into the ground by basically some blind studio execs giving him the keys to the kingdom and say, hey, make us an MCU for us, but only with like DC characters.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of, like, here's the deal. Zack Snyder, I don't know what else he's directed outside of Man of Steel and the DC movies he's done.
He's done 300.
Decent movie.
He did Watchmen.
Never saw it.
Yeah, not great, in my opinion.
That's what I hear.
And then he also did that that one movie Alex really liked, Sucker Punch.
Oh, he did that?
He did that, yeah.
Oh, see, that movie was okay.
Yeah, well, but it's
nothing to really, in my opinion. Okay, so I don't know what he's done since then, but I just don't like. I'm on 100% on the same page as you. Like this I think raises more questions than it does gives people answers as to like what is actually going on at Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
like what kind of constraints, maybe someone left and now they're able to do this. Like, I just feel like as a company, you would want to protect your employees or whatever and be like, no, we're not going to release this crap. Like, we're going to protect our name. Or maybe they know, like you said, it's a hot pile of garbage, and let's let Zack Snyder fall on his face because he's not doing anything for us again.
Right.
So where's the harm in that?
Well, not to mention too, it's like, it might just be a way to shut up like all these people because I mean,
that's what I'm thinking.
These fans literally went out and bought out a sign like I mentioned earlier in Times Square saying release the Snyder Cut.
Someone's got money.
They pulled money together to do this, and Warner Brothers is like, all right, you know what? You want it? We'll give it to you. It ain't great, but we'll give it to you. But no, it's again, it's gonna be probably the big thing that like, oh yeah, everybody petitioned for this, and it was just a pile of garbage, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Has anybody seen Batman v Superman recently? I mean,
I haven't watched it since.
Right, but I mean,
I don't even know when.
But I mean, it's like the plot in that movie is like almost incomprehensible. You have
there's a lot going on.
A huge plot point that's based on two characters having like their mothers share the last name here.
First name.
Or
Martha.
First name. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, it's honestly just like it boggles my mind that Zack Snyder still has people that support him after all this is said and done here. I think just people are just ultimately just disappointed by the Justice League movie, and they just want some semblance of hope that there is an actual good movie.
So will this Snyder Cut be just Justice League, or is it Batman v Superman and Justice League?
I think it's just Justice League.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you finished Batman v Superman, that was trash. So what's the difference going to be?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well let's stop talking about something that we'll probably not watch. Like, I mean, I might watch it out of pure speculatory,
curiosity,
investigative journalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Like maybe we'll do a deep dive on how bad it is.
And
compare the two.
I feel like just because of how much media presence and how much attention this thing has gotten, we might just have to I'll probably just watch it out of spite, in all honesty.
Right.
But follow-up question on this. So I think the underlying thing that a lot of people aren't paying attention to on this news is this is coming to HBO Max, not DC Universe.
No. Yeah.
So is DC Universe pretty much on its last legs?
So what I've heard is that they're kind of rolling DC Universe into the HBO Max app.
Right.
Like the DC Universe app I don't think will be supported anymore.
Yeah, it won't be standalone. It'll be part of something.
Yeah, so like kind of how I view it, Disney Plus has all those different buttons. You have Marvel, you have Star Wars. It's going to be similar to that.
Yeah, no.
Right. So you got like your Game of Thrones, you got your DC Universe. I think it's the DC Universe brand will still exist.
Well, right, because I mean, you see
like logo and everything. You'll have Titans. You'll have which I still want to watch that show.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
And so
because I know that I think Doom Patrol ended up coming to HBO service. Watchmen ended up being produced by HBO. You have the Green Lantern show that's coming to HBO. So I think you are correct. Like they're gonna just basically fuse them together and just call it good.
Yeah. I think it makes the most sense. Like the biggest problem with DC Universe is it's too expensive.
Yeah, no, and it's honestly, granted, I mean, yeah, sure, you get like somewhat of a decent back catalog. You got Batman Beyond, Batman the Animated Series, Teen Titans, Young Justice, and some
all the old like DC movies like Superman and Batman.
Right, Superman and Batman, and you get also that you also get like some new original stuff, like a third season of Young Justice, Titans.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either, which I really want to.
Yeah, but no. That being said, it's like again, I think it's kind of like the problem that Disney Plus is kind of running into is just like they don't have like enough new content coming to really like support somebody to say, okay, yes, I will stay on this for an entire year or justify staying on this for an entire year. But
totally, like it's a binge and dump kind of service.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
speaking of Young Justice,
yeah.
Do you know who voiced Robin / Nightwing?
I do not know. Why.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna make a Masked Singer reference.
Oh,
so Jesse McCartney.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who that is, but he was on the Masked Singer. He got second place. He did not win. He should have won.
Okay.
But he voices Robin. And
really?
Nightwing. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Amazing singer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway. All right. So with the coronavirus, masks have been a hot item.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
And that does not exclude Bane masks.
Yeah.
So apparently they're selling out everywhere for whatever reason.
Yep. No, nobody cared who I was till I put on the mask.
I guess not. So these aren't special masks, are they?
No. So that's the thing that honestly boggles my mind about this news. Is so like according to IGN, basically everywhere is getting sold out of like Bane masks. Like costume.com, buycostumes.com, halloweencostumes.com are all sold out of like plastic Bane mask.
Yeah.
And all the meanwhile, Etsy has been selling over like 150 variations of cloth Bane masks, which I don't even know what those even look like here. But none of these are medically approved. They're not N95 masks. So I don't know if people just want to look fashionable during the pandemic here or something honestly, like that. I mean,
well, a lot of places are requiring you to have a mask to even come into their place, which is bullcrap.
Yeah, but. No, I mean that. So like, if you just put on like a Bane mask, be like, oh yeah, no, this is my ticket in here, or something like that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to go on a tangent about this, but I like the only mask that will actually protect you is the N95 mask.
It is, yeah.
The other ones, people are now saying that they cause more harm than they do, not.
Yeah.
Just don't wear a mask.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, I mean, I know there's some controversy about people wearing a mask, it doesn't do anything. It's like, no, it does. I mean, because people who've had tuberculosis and other respiratory spread diseases, they use N95s way before coronavirus was even a thing here. So I mean,
no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. N95 is 100%,
right.
But just the basic cloth ones you could buy from Etsy aren't going to do much for you.
Not at all.
But beyond that, I mean, this is an interesting thing. This is a good side hustle to get into if you really want to make some money right now.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. No, well, everywhere is sold out here, but it's kind of like
my aunt's been making them, but she's been donating them to hospitals and stuff.
No, that's cool. But it's kind of like I don't know, I'm just gonna get on some vague references, but how in some video games, I'm thinking specifically RPGs, you have to have some sort of item of clothing or some sort of badge or some sort of membership
to get into a place.
That's basically what
Costco.
That's what these masks are basically doing. Or
yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So back to kind of movie TV news. Umbrella Academy season 2 dropped a teaser for season 2.
Okay.
And so I watched season 1. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
Okay.
It's not a normal superhero show, I would say.
No, I would not say that at all.
There's a lot of interesting elements to it. I didn't read the comics at all that these are made from. So basically what we got was the next season of Umbrella Academy comes out July 31st. So about 2 months from when they released the trailer for it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I love how Netflix follows this model where it's like, hey, we're gonna give you a month or two to get ready for this.
Yeah.
Not a couple years.
Well,
that's really nice.
Well, it's also one of those things where it's at the same time, Netflix is a very guilty suspect in the whole hey, we're not going to release our show on a yearly schedule here. You know, you don't expect like Stranger Things season 4 to necessarily come out like 1 year after season 3 debuted here.
Right, yeah. It's totally different because I think season 1 premiered in like February or March of 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, of Umbrella?
Yeah. And so it's just like a couple months off, but it's not necessarily a big deal. Like,
yeah, it's not that big of a deal per se.
I didn't even know they were making a season 2. Like, I think I heard they were getting renewed, but I had heard nothing beyond that.
Okay.
So for the video, so there's, I don't know if you watched season 1. Did you watch season 1? I watched
like maybe about 3 or 4 episodes of season 1. I couldn't get into it. It was too weird for me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would be a show you really liked, but
that's the thing. Like, superhero stuff is typically up my alley, but I don't know. I think it just kind of got like too weird into like the comic book side of things for me. Like, you got like a robot wife, you got like a monkey that is like overseeing things, you got like some weird dance number that happens like in the first episode and stuff like that.
Yeah, so a little bit. Yeah, so that dance number is basically the promo for season 2 because everyone's still is quarantining right now. Oh. And so they did like the little dance things in their own little rooms, which is pretty funny. Like,
okay, all right.
And then Ben, who I can't remember his superhero name, but basically turns into the monster in the flashbacks. He's dead and talks to...
Right, yeah, he talks to...
what's his name? His brother, I don't know. Like the one that can talk to the dead.
Yeah, the one that's like the junkie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to be a big part of season 2, I'm guessing. Because at the end of season 1, you get... Like, they time travel back, basically, somehow, with the kid's powers.
The one kid that can, like, teleport and stuff like that. Yeah, that was another weird thing, too, about, like... well, I guess one of the things that kind of turned me off about that show is, like... So the one kid who can, like, time travel, he travels to, like, 50 years to the future or, like, something like that to, like, the wasteland here. Ends up coming back... You first see him as like an old man when he's coming through the portal, but he's like, oh, I actually maintain this young appearance as a boy for reasons here, I'm like, okay, that literally makes no sense here, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how they elaborate on that. I think it was because he said that, I think, but I think he actually messed up going back. Like, he should have
supposed to go back further or something like that.
Well, I don't know. Like, so the reason he's in that body still, he messed up, I think, when he wanted to go back to. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's why he's kind of stuck in that body. But
okay, I
have no idea. It's been over a year since I've seen it, but
fair enough.
So I mean, I think it's cool that we're getting that. I'm at least excited for today, as the day of filming or recording this podcast, it's May 22nd, and in a week, Space Force comes out.
Yeah,
which I'm excited for. That's one of the series I'm excited for, and then Umbrella Academy is probably gonna be the next one I watch. But I mean, at least for the near future, we have something to watch.
Yeah, no, that is true.
It seems like we've got nothing for a while.
Yeah,
like a long while.
Well, yeah, because I mean, right now we should be talking about A Quiet Place 2. We should have been talking about
Fast
Black
9,
Widow, Fast 9. Yeah, all these other movies that were supposed to be coming out that got pushed or delayed, or
Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan. Yeah, that was another one. Yeah,
but freaking Corona.
All
right, so real quick, gaming little tidbit that was apparently news. I don't know why this was news. I was on IGN's like front of the page. Like they're hurting for information. I feel like right now for
everybody,
articles.
Like this week, everybody I feel like is hurting. Yeah.
So good news: your horse in Ghost of Tsushima cannot be killed.
Well, that's pretty neat.
What games does your horse die?
Red Dead Redemption.
Do they come back?
They do not.
Oh, okay, because in Metal Gear, your horse can die, but it comes right back.
Right. Yeah. Skyrim, I think your horse can die and not come back.
Oh, Zelda,
yeah.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is like...
It's a vehicle, essentially.
Right. I mean, essentially, like, this could have been, like, put into that big news dump of... that we had last week. Yeah. But whatever.
I honestly just don't think they cared to mention it because it didn't really matter that much.
Probably not, no. I mean, like IGN probably went to Sucker Punch and say, guys, you got to give us something for this week here. like our children are starving.
Yeah. But let's talk about some good news. So the new 1010 trailer.
The Tenet.
Yeah, the new 1010 trailer premiered in Fortnite, of all places.
Yeah, so
which is this movie going to be rated R? Because I feel like this is not the place
I'm pretty sure it's going to be PG-13. But
okay.
But let's get into that real quick here, just because. So for starters, like I get it, Fortnite, huge platform. They've done stuff for like movies in the past, like they tied in Infinity War and Endgame together.
Right.
They had like promotion for Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. They did that one concert for
Travis Scott.
Yeah, for Travis Scott. That was apparently like huge. Like they apparently like 23 million people.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, basically tuned in for that. So, I mean, yeah, sure. This makes sense from like a platform standpoint. It's just like this movie, I don't feel like is like the movie that like really speaks to like the majority of Fortnite players, which is like, middle schoolers, like 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds.
Right. Or us.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Sometimes, but I mean, like,
yeah, it's a weird spot for it out of all places to premiere.
It's a weird spot, because it's like, I feel like, this is going to be just based on the trailer, going to be more of like a thinking man's movie. You're kind of have to like really like pay attention. You have to kind of familiarize yourself with like, the little details about this movie.
Oh, it's this is a rewatch movie.
This is going to be something that I feel like is going to be directed more towards an older audience here.
100%.
And yeah, it's like, okay, let's go for the lowest common denominator right here, basically, which is Fortnite.
Which I'm sure right after the premiere, it popped up everywhere. Like I saw it on YouTube. So,
yeah, no, same here. Yeah.
Let's talk about the trailer itself.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, what are your first impressions? Because I mean, I'll just start with one sentence.
Okay.
Very weird trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I feel like, raises more questions than answers. It probably answers some questions that we had from the very first trailer that we got from the Rise of Skywalker premiere. But yeah, I mean, just general impressions. The fighting reminds me of Jason Bourne.
Yeah, 100%.
Which, if you listen to our Thursday throwback Bourne Ultimatum, I literally said like, I really want like a spiritual successor to like this thing. So this could be,
I mean, thrown in with a lot of like sci-fi, like
yeah, sure. But I mean, it's espionage.
Yeah,
it's,
totally.
It
They're
seems
trying
like
to stop World War III.
Yes,
as it said in the trailer.
Yep, exactly. So, and I mean, I think the sci-fi part of this movie really takes the center stage in this trailer. So you get basically it looks like possible telekinesis by using time manipulation for the most part. Looks like there's rewinding time is going to be a big factor in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's honestly going to be Christopher Nolan's trippiest movie since Inception here. I mean, overall, I'm very interested to see where this movie is going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely piqued my interest. I don't know if I'm probably gonna have to watch it quite a few times to really understand what's going on.
I'm also gonna have to.
But the interesting thing that I picked up on this trailer is it didn't have a release date at the end of it. It just said coming to cinemas here. So
coming to theater. I think the big stretch, like the big push of it was, we're not going to release this early.
Well, and that's I don't know how much you know about Christopher Nolan, but he's made like very like
I know very little about him.
Fair enough, but very long op-eds about why the theater experience matters here.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah,
especially for the movies he makes.
Exactly. So I don't think you'll ever see him like put something on VOD before it goes to theater.
No, yeah.
But what were your impressions of the trailer?
So like I said, to me, it was a very odd trailer. Like you said, it raises more questions than gives us answers, which is fine because this is trying to stimulate us as an audience to want to go see it.
Yeah,
right?
Curiosity here. Yeah.
So it doesn't give you much more than the previous trailer.
No, not much more. Not really.
Yeah. I have a couple of quotes in here. One of the quotes says, "All I have for you is a word, Tenet," and this is a guy explaining it to the main character.
Yep.
He said, "Use it carefully." So, like, my question is this an ability this guy has? Is this a drug this guy was, or some kind of thing that this guy was exposed to, which gave him this ability?
Right.
Why is it him? Right. And
right.
so there's like all these questions of, he's discovering this with the audience, it seems like.
Yeah, no.
So the fighting is very similar to Bourne.
Yep.
I wrote that down as well. He can communicate with the future.
So
that was a quote.
Yeah, so a possible precognition type thing going on. Yeah.
And then previously he said that he has to have an idea of where they're heading, like as far as like what kind of scenario they're heading into in order to use Tenet.
Right.
What, like, if that's that's what they're referring to as whatever ability he has.
So I mean, it might not just be like, general precognition. Like you have to like it has like limitations, or there's certain parameters you have to adhere to in order to use it potentially.
Oh yeah. And so he said it's not time travel. It's something called inversion.
Right.
Which which is a quote, and then another quote at the end, towards the end of the trailer, it says it's reversing the flow of time,
which is what we see carried out like visually in a lot of the little snippets of the trailer. You have like things like falling, like that would fall from a hand, like be rewound right back to like their starting position, like a gun in a hand or something like that, or like bullet holes or
right. And that was one of the other things. Is there's another quote that the lady says when he's at the shooting range. Mm-hmm. He was like, he shot and the bullet hole disappeared, and then he's like, huh, and then she's like, you're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Yeah, like
the bullet's reversing into the gun. And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm like, I like, this movie's gonna break my brain up.
Oh, totally. And then another quote was, "There are people in the future who need us. We need a Tenet." Yeah.
So this whole thing might have been like there might be something that happens in the future that has to be prevented in the past. So,
I mean, it's almost like reminds me of Minority Report in that sense of
kinda,
like
yeah,
the precogs and all that stuff.
Yeah. So the people in the future might have like sent them like the Tenet technology to the past to prevent like what's going to happen in the future.
Which that's interesting like that. Too, because we see certain scenes people wearing oxygen masks.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of like on an inhibitor, kind of like someone who has asthma, like an asthma treatment almost.
Yeah.
So I'm interested if that's like
the toll of like using Tenet or
or
time,
or when they do use it, they have to be hooked up to that. Like, maybe if they're using a lot of whatever that is at once.
Yeah.
There's going to be some bad dudes in suits. That's what we've seen too.
Oh yeah.
That also have this ability.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But I was very interested by this trailer.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it a couple more times to kind of figure out more. But
yeah, no, I at least watched it like about 3 times here. So
I'm super pissed, honestly, about this movie not coming out soon.
I mean, well, here's the thing. Apparently,
was it 2021 release?
No, it's July, but that being said, Warner Brothers
was July.
Yeah, Warner Brothers has said that is sticking by the statement that this movie is still coming out in July, but apparently there's
it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
unfortunately,
I think they're probably just kind of doing a wait and see. That's why you don't see the release date at the end of the trailer. So I think
I guarantee is a 2021 now, or if anything into summer, like August, September,
something. Yeah, I mean, which would be that'd be a real shame, just because obviously we won't have any movies to watch this summer.
No.
And you would probably clean up.
Yeah. What did we talk about? There's some movie coming out soon, and it's like, or maybe we talked about last week. I can't remember. My brain's all busted, but talking about how like any movie that comes out this summer is going to make a crap ton of money.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a clear field.
Yeah, there's nothing in competition with you.
Yeah.
DC, now is your time. just go make a movie real quick and then put it out.
Yeah, just film it on your iPhone here or something.
It'll be better than BVS.
You're probably right. But, but at the same time, I mean, it seems weird that you would like do this big promotion with Fortnite to show this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, if you're going to just to delay it, so seems kind of odd at the same point.
What I'm guessing is they probably already had a contract with them.
Yeah, maybe.
Pre-corona. And they just had to kind of follow through with it.
Maybe, yeah.
They probably already paid the money, like, why not?
That's probably why it was not like announced with like all that much fanfare. We literally learned about it the day of.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, that's it for our nerd news. We're going to head into our roundtable review. Dorian, take it away.
So, this past Monday, community table read for competitive or cooperative polygraphy. Polygraphy,
yeah.
So, what did you think?
I felt lots of things watching this.
Yeah.
So this is on YouTube for those of you who want to watch. So yeah, for all the people who watched it 10 years ago, or like me and Dorian, this is a really cool experience to see the cast back together.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, for the people who didn't, we're hipsters when it comes to stuff like Community.
Oh yeah, no, like.
We were watching it every season where it was almost going to get canceled halfway through the season.
Yeah.
But this was a really cool idea. I mean, we got the community one, which was great. Honestly, I like the Parks and Rec one a lot.
Yeah, no, the Parks and Rec one I think is the gold standard in terms of like how to do this whole Corona charity episode type format here.
I thought this was great too, though.
Yeah, no, it was a good time.
So the entire cast is back for the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So Walter Goggins, who plays the polygraph guy, he couldn't be on the show for whatever reason.
Right.
For the table reads, so they pulled some mighty weight of some kind.
They sure did.
And they got the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Well, 1/3 of the Mandalorian, the voice of the Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, which that actually blew my mind here. That Dan Harmon has that pull, and I
don't know.
Apparently, Pedro Pascal is just like, yeah, no, I'll do it.
I mean, he's friends with the Russo brothers, because the Russo brothers were on his show for a long time. So I'm guessing he talked to his Disney connection and was like, hey, can you get the Mandalorian on my show?
Yeah. I mean, nobody has more pull in Hollywood right now than the Russo brothers.
Yeah, good on Dan for having that connection, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
So, what was even interesting, down to the details of the theme song, they got the writer and the artist to actually do it live on the show.
Yeah, just like strum his guitar and just sing the lyrics. Yeah.
So this blew my mind because I thought a girl sang it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I always figured it was a dude.
See, I always figured it. The voice was just so high. I was like, dang, it just always sounded like a girl to me.
Yeah.
And it was the guy from the 88s. I didn't know that. So that was actually really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And they're all dancing, dancing to music as it's happening because he popped in on Zoom. It was all taking place over Zoom.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna do when you have a theme song play? I mean, you're
totally.
You're kind of a schmuck if you don't dance. But whatever.
But yeah, and I think that was cool. My only gripe was the audio would cut out sometimes when someone we sang something and it tries to cut to someone else.
Right.
Which that happens in Zoom a lot.
It does, yes.
So I was okay with it, but it was just kind of I wish they would have had some kind of backup audio type of thing where they could have
edited it in there or something like that. Yeah.
But I mean, overall, it was pretty good. As far as quality goes. So Jim Rash is not in this episode.
Yeah.
Who plays the Dean?
Dean
Pelton. So he played the lie detector lady Mara. And then also the ancillary characters that maybe had a line or two. He would play those characters.
Yep.
So that was cool to have Jim in there. Donald Glover, aka Troy Barnes, of course stole the show.
Yeah.
Best part of the whole thing was him and Abed.
Yeah.
And even Abed, he has very little lines in this episode, but a lot of the lines Troy says are gold. Complete gold.
I never went to Legoland. I just wanted you guys to think I was cool. Yeah.
So good.
I mean, as per usual for Troy, or like when they're questioning him about like the secret handshake.
Oh
and
gosh,
like,
yeah.
Hey, the polygrapher lady says lie. He's like, silence, wench.
Yeah. Silence, wench. Yeah. It's a super good Troy Barnes episode, but
it is,
he doesn't skip a beat. Like he jumped right into character. Like you felt like it was actually Troy. And I would say most of the cast doesn't, with the exception of Britta and Chang, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would say that those are the two that didn't feel like their characters like everyone else did.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why. That's just kind of the vibe I got.
I mean, I kind of felt that way, but not for those two. Mostly it was for like Shirley.
I think Shirley did a good job.
I mean, I don't know, just because like I have the I remember that episode, like, you know, in the actual season 5 episode.
I just watched it, yeah.
Yeah, like pretty vividly. So like there's parts where like you know, Shirley like has like a harsher tone on like some of the things that she says and stuff like that. So maybe that's why
could be.
Yeah.
I just think Gillian did not get to do a good job of acting in this episode as far as like the Zoom conference.
Yeah.
And same with Ken Jeong. I was just like, they're not even really trying, it seems like.
Yeah, no, they're just kind
of like no preparation.
Well, getting together, just having fun for the
most part. And I was like, you're okay. I understand that. That's fine. But like also it's like you have people who haven't seen it. Like there hasn't been episodes in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, at least do your due diligence to try.
Yeah.
Like all of Donald's beats, like his tone, his
comedic
expression,
timing,
everything was on point.
Yeah.
Like he put in work, you could tell, to make sure that his performance was well received.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I love the Legoland quote. That's a great quote.
Yeah.
I like the insight into what's actually on the script. I thought like all the direction. So Dan Harmon was giving all the direction pieces on the script.
Right. Yeah. Describing like all the things that
we see, but we don't necessarily know is on paper.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I thought that was really cool. It was kind of a cool insight.
Yeah.
Troy and Abed are in mourning.
Yeah.
And then
you say morning with a U?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah. And then you have the quote. The polygrapher says his name. He's like, easy for you to say, and us.
Yeah, like, oh, my name is Mr. Stone, and this Troy just pipes up. That's easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where he was going with that.
I think he was just on edge because of the funeral and stuff that they just got back from.
But yeah, but I just love that line here. It's just classic Troy Barnes.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I like Joel McHale a little bit more now, because I feel like he probably did the best job of being in character.
Yeah, I think you might be right on that here. Which, I mean,
tone and everything.
I mean, to be fair,
and Donald.
I think like
it's just him playing himself.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I was about to say, like, I think Jeff Winger is very similar to Joe McHale in real life.
Probably.
Here. I mean, just with maybe just a little less narcissism. Who knows?
Yeah. What's interesting to hear is like Alison Brie talk.
Yeah.
Because her voice is a lot lower than Annie's.
Yeah.
Which is like really odd to me. I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Because you see that from like Diaz in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well, where she talks at a lower register.
Yeah.
So she's the opposite. She talks a lot higher.
Yeah.
In like real life, and then on the show she talks a lot lower.
Oh, really?
I mean, because her character is definitely more gravelly, and she's a cop, where Annie's like this. Really preppy girl, like, and
preppy,
Allison probably
upbeat,
isn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
but she has just this like kind of like lower voice, which was kind of weird to hear.
Well, it's also been like because she's like probably like maybe mid-20s in that show or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think her voice really changes too much after that, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could just be like a little bit of time.
Could be too. Yeah, totally.
I don't know.
The Doomsday Plan is hilarious.
Yeah,
I was remembering that like. I was like, yeah, we got a couple bug out bands with gold coins and condoms, and then I was like, wait, in my head I was like, how did you get the gold coins?
Yeah,
like how much money did you guys have and just blow it all in gold?
I mean,
good for you for investing.
Yeah, no, good. Honestly, that's probably like the smartest thing that they've done the entire show here. But another great one. It's not written on here, but when they're talking about like how Annie is overcharging Troy and Abed for the rent, it's like, oh wow, we we could have had an extra $10 a month. We could have bought a tire for our tire swing.
Yeah, I think he said we've been washing paper plates and
making our own toothpaste.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
You get the handshake bombshell in this episode, obviously.
That Troy never invented it.
No,
he basically
saw a YouTube video.
Yep.
And then Abed's been catfishing Annie for a long time.
Yeah, all for the sake of breakfast.
Yeah, pancakes.
Yep.
Because she'd hum and make pancakes for them every morning that she's in a relationship with this guy that Abed made up.
Yeah.
It just shows kind of how manipulative Abed actually is.
Yeah.
Because he is extremely manipulative.
Oh, big time, yeah.
And then I thought another really funny part was because Pedro Pascal was reading all those lines, and when it gets to there's a scene where basically he's giving his bequeathments to every character, Pierce, because he had passed away, and so everyone was getting sperm bank, like a sperm cylinder, basically.
Yeah, sperm cylinder for like any future Pierce babies that they want to have or something like that.
And so the best part is Pedro breaking over reading it.
Like he had to take like 5 minutes to get through that entire scene just because he kept on laughing through the entire thing, and it was hilarious.
I think the breaks were the best part, or like when they'd go to like finish an act, and then like Dan made that comment about like, Purina puppy chat, like like an impromptu commercial, that was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny, yeah.
And then it confirmed, because I think we talked about this last week. Abed is the one who only gets sperm. Everyone else gets something else.
Yeah.
Even Britta got an iPod.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, great reunion. Can't wait for the movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, and one of the things that I was really surprised about this table read is just how much the cast seems to be a fan of the show here. Like,
they could, that was really cool.
They could literally call back to like specific moments and like episodes and like actually know the name of it, how it happened and all that stuff. Pretty much like hardcore fans of the show would be able to remember it here. So, yeah, no, it was. So that was honestly kind of a pleasant surprise, and also just like how well these guys interact with each other. Like they still like each other. They still like totally. Enjoy each other's company and all that. So honestly, the chemistry's still there.
Yeah,
make the movie.
Yeah,
honestly, like no better opportunity. I feel like now.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, and I mean, if they do make it, make it soon, because Donald's a busy dude.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think most of them are probably available.
Speaking of which, I do enjoy how much they
gave him crap for being famous.
For how successful he was. Like, oh yeah, that must have happened with your Atlanta family here, or something like that. Or like how's that music career working out, Donald?
Yeah, he was like, no, he's like, I'm still trying, like. I think he had like probably a gold record, at least maybe a platinum one. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, I think it was cool because I watched the after show too. I don't know if you watched that.
Oh, the Q&A?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I most certainly did. Yeah.
But then just talking about how much they enjoyed that time of their lives and that they're all truly friends.
Yeah.
I think is kind of a rare thing.
Yeah.
But them talking about like listening to Donald's first demo in the car, and they're like, oh crap, he's going somewhere.
Places,
yeah. So I don't know, all that was really cool. I think it was also cool to hear, like you said, they're fans of the show. Like Joel's kids are watching it, Danny's kids are watching it.
Well, yeah, because like Joel's kids quote like the part that we love, like, good news guys, I spent all the money.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was just really cool kind of experience and behind the scenes.
No, it's essentially just comfort food for like just something that we just haven't had in a while here. It's kind of the same feeling or vibe that we get from the Parks and Rec special here that we got a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
That's the show.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you go on Apple Podcasts, rate it up, give us that 5-star, and check us out on our social medias. Coming very soon.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that.
Coming very soon. So those of you who have stayed through my almost sign-off, we're going to be... So this week we don't have a Thursday throwback.
And there's a good reason for that.
There's a good reason. We are starting our first series as far as a show.
Yeah, for throwbacks and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, so our first throwback series is going to be Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yep.
And so... stay tuned for that. We're hoping to have that out in the next week or so, and we're going to kind of go into depth on different episodes we liked and the characters, the lore, all that stuff. So
yeah, and just so we're clear, we're going to be tackling this season by season.
Yeah. So yeah, and that'll change our schedule up a little bit. Potentially.
So we might be doing a Thursday throwback every other week, not every week potentially, but we'll see how things go. But stay tuned for that.
All right. Well, have an awesome week, and remember, everyone's a nerd about something.
Peace out.